If I had asked you, which city is the home for the biggest parliament in Europe, which is also the heaviest building in the world, which also makes it the most expensive building in the world, which also is the biggest administrative building in the world after Pentagon. But at the same time, the city is called Little Paris. It has its own the Arch of Triumph and the Champs-Élysées Boulevard. Also, the city has the largest choreographed fountain system in the world with 44 synchronized fountains. Would you have guessed that all of that, as you can understand by the name of this video, is one and only Bucharest, the capital of my favorite country, Romania? I spent 1 month traveling through Romania. I had unforgettable 4-day Via Transilvanica hike through Romanian forests, villages and hills. The video about that is already posted on YouTube. The link is in the description of this video. Then I spent 2 weeks road tripping through Transylvania, through all those medieval cities like Brașov, Sighișoara, Sinaia, Sibiu, Transfăgărășan. The video about that is still coming. But this video is about my wonderful time I spent in Bucharest and about my 1-day trip to Constanța. Enjoy! The city of contrasts has become one of those travel cliches used to describe almost every city in the world. And yet, when you're wandering through the streets of Bucharest, it seems that there is no better fitting phrase. At the turn of the 19th century, the city was one of Europe's golden metropolises. Nicknamed Little Paris, its wide boulevards were lined with grand Parisian-style buildings. In 1856, it became the first city in the world to be illuminated by oil lamps, while another Romanian city, Timișoara, became the first city in Europe to switch to electric street lamps in 1889. But this golden age of progress was brutally stopped at the hands of Nicolae Ceausescu, Romanian communist dictator between 1965 and 1989. Ceausescu had grand plans to transform Romania's physical blueprint. Over 5 square kilometers of the city's historic old center were destroyed. 16th century neighborhoods, monasteries, churches, a hospital, all destroyed to make space for a grand boulevard and enormous house of the people, now the palace of the parliament. This urban transformation is even called Ceaușima, as the combination of words Ceausescu and Hiroshima. This is the biggest city destruction in peaceful times in history. But there was this civil Romanian engineer, Eugeniu Iordachescu, and he managed to save a couple of historical buildings by developing a new method of relocating them rather than demolishing them. So his method involved putting the whole building on the rails and then rolling that building to the new location. For example, this old library. Originally it was standing right there, where now there is this modern building built during Ceausescu time. So if this library had not been relocated a couple of meters to the side, this library would no longer exist today. So, getting back to the parliament, you can count on your fingers the number of records that this building has set. This is the largest administrative building in the world after the Pentagon. This is the heaviest and the most expensive building in the world. Why? Because even only this curtain weighs 250 kilograms. Every square inch was designed, produced, painted, crafted and manufactured in Romania. This is 100% Romanian material. The carpets are so large that they had to be woven inside of the building. Basketball matches were even held in this hall. An estimated 20,000 builders worked 24 hours, 7 days a week. Many have died because of poor conditions. The Palace of Parliament has a depth of approximately 92 meters underground, with tunnel system. One of the episodes of the Top Gear was filmed there.
Had given us permission to drive in the network of tunnels underneath the government building. This, we feel, is not something that would be allowed in Britain.
But Ceausescu never had a chance to actually use and enjoy this his grand dream and palace of the parliament, because He and his wife were executed in 1989 during the Romanian Revolution. Fun fact, so actually the first person to actually stand on that balcony and to speak to the crowd was not Ceausescu, but Michael Jackson during his tour. And another fun fact, so when Michael Jackson was talking to the crowd, he said, "I love Budapest," instead of "I love Bucharest." Here is the parliament from the other side. And here is an Orthodox church which also holds a world's record. The biggest Orthodox church in the world is being built in Bucharest. This is the People's Salvation Cathedral. Its height is over 130 meters, and it will become the future seat of the Romanian Orthodox Church and the tallest Orthodox structure in the entire world. I love Romania. I just went to a grocery store, like a small grocery store in Bucharest, to buy myself some products. So I took a product and then I went to cashier and she started scanning my products. She started talking to me. I'm like, "No Romanian, no Romanian." But she kept talking and she understood that I'm not Romanian, obviously. And she started teaching me all the products that I bought in Romanian, like banana, kefir. I'm like, "Okay, thank you." And then she saw that I was holding my notebook in my hands, and she just took my notebook from my hands. I'm like, "Okay, whatever." And she just started writing something, and she just wrote on my first page some welcoming words in Romanian. I didn't expect that to happen, but it was so nice. I learned some products in Romanian. We were laughing, and this woman just made my evening, definitely. Here in Bucharest is a very beautiful bookshop, so let's go and check it out and maybe buy some book. This is the Cărturești Carusel, which means the Carusel of Light. It was built in the beginning of the 20th century by a wealthy family of Greek bankers. But later this building was confiscated by the communist regime and stayed abandoned for many years, and finally this beautiful building was renovated to this beautiful bookstore. The bookstore has 3 floors and it has books of all the possible genres, both in Romanian and English, and of course a book in the largest quantity and in the most diverse editions is Dracula. I personally lost myself near the shelf with classics. I have never seen so many beautiful book editions anywhere else. Another beautiful symbol of the city is the Arch of Triumph. It was built in 1922 as the symbol of Romanians' victory in the First World War. The tower also symbolically links Bucharest to old Rome, the civilization that imposed the Arch of Triumph as a symbol of victory. And you can actually get on the top of the arch and enjoy beautiful views of the Bucharest. Another amazing thing about Bucharest is its parks. I'm a believer that good parks is equal to a good city, and Bucharest has so many beautiful parks. I'm right now in the Cismigu Gardens. The pronunciation can be totally incorrect, but it's so beautiful. The weather is so sunny. Here are so many flowers. Everything is blooming already. And actually the park is full of people. Like even though it's Wednesday and it's the middle of the workday, a lot of older people, families with little kids, locals are walking. It's a very nice atmosphere here. And the park has many benches, and the benches are also very beautiful. And it was quite hard for me to find an empty one. So it's nice that locals and people are using those parks. Also, I found some hidden table and chairs made of stones. Looked very authentic. There were a couple of people sitting there, but it's nice. The park is huge and you can walk and find those small hidden things. Even near to my Airbnb, there are several parks that every morning I have a choice to make to which park I will go today. So today I went to this park and it's huge. It's such an enormous park. You can spend the whole morning just walking and you still will not be able to walk all the paths here. I even have to check my phone time to time, the map on my phone, to make sure that I'm following the right path. So it's very calm atmosphere, and it's nice because outside the park there's quite a noisy city, but here the huge park, And in the middle of the park you don't hear all that noise, you just hear the birds. The name of this park is Teneredului Park, and this was my favorite spot because from this spot you can see the whole city, you can see the parliament, the roof of the biggest Orthodox church and other attractions. Fun fact, they actually can park cars in 2 rows. So for example there you can see cars are parked in 2 rows, so one car cannot drive without another car to be moved from that spot. So they just leave their phone numbers on the front window. So whenever you have to drive out and another car is not allowing you to do that, you can just call the owner and he will come out, hopefully, and will move his car. When you walk through the city during one day, you can see very clearly the difference of different areas of the city. So this is very calm and cute area with all those paintings on the walls. Before there was a super fancy area with all those fancy restaurants, expensive cars and apartments. But my favorite architecture was this one. When I first saw these buildings, I was shocked, like, what is even that? These are some Athenian buildings on the roof of another building. And these are actually old buildings, and Ceausescu actually liked those elements and he used those elements on the buildings that were built during his time. While this part of the city remind me of Rome with its huge and monumental buildings, for example this is the Romanian Athenaeum. This is one of the main landmarks of Bucharest. It was built in the end of 19th century to host a public library, conferences, classical music, concerts, exhibitions, and all the other cultural events to promote culture by any means. Today, this is the main concert hall of Romania, and it hosts one of the world's main classical music events, competitions, and festivals, and also it hosts public lectures by Nobel Prize laureates and writers. Regarding the parks of the Bucharest again, it was so hard for me to choose which park is my favorite, but I guess this is this one. This is the Carusel Park. It has so many beautiful sculptures, fountains, and a huge monument of the nation's heroes that can be seen from different parts of Bucharest. And the Bucharest records do not end. In fact, Bucharest holds the Guinness record for the longest choreographed fountain system in the world. The 1.4 kilometer long system includes 44 digitally controlled fountains. These fountains were built during the communist period, but later they were restored and designed to create a huge multimedia platform for video and laser projections. The fountain show with the music is completely free. However, those shows begin only starting from the May. I was in Bucharest in the last days of April, so unfortunately I didn't get to see the show itself, but still I enjoyed the fountains during the day without the music show anyway. Very refreshing. Bucharest is a city packed with history, stories and surprises, yet somehow it's still flying under the radar. I honestly don't understand why it's not a top European destination already. It's more affordable than most major capitals and definitely not less interesting. But maybe it's a well-kept secret, and to be honest, that's part of the charm. Without the crowds, you get to explore at your own pace and feel like you're uncovering something truly authentic. One experience I highly recommend: take a communist history walking tour. I did one. It was 3 hours of walking through the city, learning about life under the regime, the revolution, and how the past still shapes Bucharest today. It was eye-opening and 100% worth it. So, if you're someone who craves adventure with meaning, stories with depth and city with the soul, Bucharest definitely deserves a spot on your list. And after exploring Bucharest, let's take a train for a quick one-day trip to the coast of the Black Sea. Next stop, Constanța. Good morning! So it is another beautiful sunny morning. I'm in a train station of Bucharest and I'm ready to take 2.5-hour drive to beautiful Constanța to see all the beaches and to see, I think, absolutely different architecture and different city comparing to what I already have seen in Bucharest and in Romania in general. I was already pleasantly surprised when I got to the Bucharest train station, because I saw that they have book vending machines there. How nice is that? Constanța is the oldest continuously inhabited city in Romania, founded around 600 BC. It's located right on the coast of the Black Sea and it's the warmest city of Romania, and as a result, it's a very popular tourist destination here. At its beginnings, Constanța was just a simple Greek fisherman village. But after Romania was born, and to this day, Constanța became Romania's main port. Constanța is the biggest port of Black Sea and the fourth biggest of the whole Europe, after Rotterdam, Antwerp and Marseille. Originally called Tomis, the legend says that Constanța was visited by Jason and Argonauts after finding the Golden Fleece. It's our first stop. Behind me is one of the most important highlights of the city. This is the Roman edifice. Right now, it's the part of the National Museum of History and Archaeology. And actually, this monument was discovered only in 1959. And it was built in the 4th century, and it represents the largest building of its kind of the whole Roman Empire. It served as a link between the port, which is right there, and the ancient city that starts right here. The highlight of this monument is its colorful mosaic. It used to have about 2,000 square meters of the colorful mosaic. Right now, only 600 meters of that colorful mosaic is preserved, but still, it's quite a lot. Unfortunately, today, this museum is closed, so I can't get inside, but it sounds like something you want to check out. Constanța isn't like the rest of Romania, and that's what makes it fascinating. As a major port on the Black Sea with ancient roots, it's always been a crossroads of cultures and religions. While Romania is mainly Orthodox Christian, Constanța is home to a unique mix of communities, including a strong Muslim presence. Here you will find not just churches, but also historic mosques, the living proof of the region's Ottoman past and multicultural identity. This is the Great Mahmudul Mosque. This is the home for over 50,000 Muslims who inhabit the coastal area. The main attraction of this mosque is its minaret, who offers the stunning view on the harbor and the old city. The centerpiece of the interior is a large Persian carpet made in Turkey. It is one of the largest carpets in Europe, weighing 500 kilos. The main attraction of the mosque is the minaret, which offers a stunning view of the old downtown and harbor. 5 times a day, the muezzin climbs to the top of the minaret to call the faithful to prayer. And even here on this height, you can smell the fish. The smell comes from all those restaurants from below. It smells very nice. And the views are also very nice. The first thing that appears when you Google Constanța is this building. This is the casino, the postcard of Constanța. This is a very beautiful Art Nouveau building that stands right above the sea. The casino was opened in 1910. It became one of the most popular in Europe. People from all around the world came here to enjoy its luxurious interior, beautiful decorated walls, sophisticated chandeliers, expensive carpets and furniture. And actually it got renovated very recently, so I was afraid that it will be still closed, even from the outside. Right now you still can't get inside, but at least the view of the building from the outside is very beautiful. So I'm lucky.
This beautiful building behind me is the Museum of History and Archaeology itself. This is the second largest museum in the whole Romania regarding its exhibits. It was built in the Romanian architectural style, and it hosts the impressive heritage items starting from the Paleolithic times till our modern times. Today, Constanța is one of the biggest Romanian cities and is an important economical and cultural center. You can spend hours here exploring its archaeological treasures, museums, ancient ruins, architecture, but also it's a very nice place for beach lovers. As you can see, here's a very nice beach, you can swim, and also there's a long promenade, and it's all covered with the open-air restaurants, bars, and all the other entertainment.
So Constanța is a very nice city, but to be honest, I don't think that this is a must-visit destination in Romania. I went here because I spent 2 weeks in Bucharest, so I have quite a lot of free time. That's why I decided to take a one-day trip to Constanța, and I don't regret it at all. It's beautiful, Black Sea, and it's totally different from the Bucharest and the rest of the Romania. But I think that if you don't have a lot of free time, then you can skip Constanța and you will not lose much. Travel doesn't always have to be about checking off famous landmarks. Sometimes it's about the unexpected details, the little cafes you stumble into, the friendly locals, or that last-minute train ride that turns out to be the best decision of the day. As a solo female traveler, I also want to say that I felt really safe the entire time. Either when I was walking around late in the evening or navigating the new city on my own, I felt really safe and I really enjoyed my experience in Romania. And thank you very much for watching. And if you got any question or travel tip, or if you just want to joke about my amazing pronunciation of Romanian words, leave a comment. I will reply to all of them. And I will see you in the next video, which will be about my 2 weeks road trip through Transylvania. So stay tuned, my friends.
Bună!